Hi, Papa Bruce here. We're gonna take off on another trip. I got Jorah with me. Come here, buddy. Oh well. We're gonna head up toward the Verde River, and it's below the dam at Bartlett Lake. I spotted I think it's a dispersed campground or area. So we'll see what we can do. Maybe gonna do a little cooking, a little fishing, a little metal detecting. Who knows? I don't know. But we're not gonna get any of it done if we don't get going. See you up there. Well, we're down here, sort of where near the river is. And there's a lot of possibilities, but I'm darn particular. The road's pretty interesting. I wouldn't take a car in here, that's for sure. But I just wanted to show you a little bit about what this looks like in here. I'm shooting through the windshield, hope that works out okay, and hand holding the camera, but oh boy. Well, guess that gives you an idea of what we're faced with. I found a spot off this road, if you want to call it that. It looked pretty interesting, relative to close to the water. So let's move on and take a look at where we're gonna go in a minute when we get there. Well, we got set up, but boy, just in time. It's getting dark. Give you an idea of how the camp looks. Over my shoulder, you can see that I have the kitchen set up in the back of the pickup as usual. And I'll move over here and change this around so you can see better. Okay. This is how I have things set up. It's definitely a glamping kind of setup. It's certainly not backpacking, but this is exactly what we wanted to do. The kitchen's out here. It's convenient. I'll probably, I will close that up this evening. The tent we have all set up. A little different than I've done it before. I brought in 2 cots. One for Jorah. Jorah's mom sort of thought that would be a good idea. And he's got his chairs and everything. So I think we're pretty good shape in here. A little more crowded than I really like it. I normally, if I had 2 cots, I'd put 1 on each side, but he needed to be over here. So that's how this looks. There's our view. I'm going to pick up some of the kitchen stuff and I think pick up the little backpacking stove I have and bring it inside. Maybe not. So I can cook coffee in the morning without going outside, but it's supposed to be nice. It's not that hot, cold. And after all, we are roughing it. The river's right down below this little hill. You can't drive down there, it's just a path. But it ought to get us pretty, well, I'm anxious to see if we catch fish. I hope so. Well, I better get dinner going. Oh, Jorah's making his home and making sure he's happy. Probably just sign off for now and pick it up again in the morning. See you then. morning. Pretty windy last night, but not cold at all. It was really nice in here. Jorah still doesn't want to get up. He's such a lazy puppy. Check this out. Hey, Jorah. Well, anyway, did a little bit of a modification last night because it was so windy to the tent. I used little Velcro dots because it sort of opens up a little bit, and I think you can see those okay. Anyway, it seemed to be helps keep them close. Not that it's a big deal. It certainly wasn't cold enough to worry about it. Anyhow, let's go get ready to head out. Not gonna go anywhere. We're gonna keep this camp right here. It's all set up. The teepee tent's nice when it's set up, but it does take a little bit of time. Of course, I've got a lot of stuff in here, and that took some time too. So the kitchen's all ready. This morning I want to build a fire pit so we can do some baking. I'm going to do some baking and make a cherry cobbler in cast iron on the grill. So we'll see how that turns out. I bet you it'll be good. And I'm going to walk down to the creek, the river, and see if we can catch some fish for dinner. So let's see if we can get Jorah up and maybe get some work done around here. Hey Jorah, let's go. Come on, let's go fishing. Let's make our way down here to the water. Show the folks what it looks like. Looks nice down there, doesn't it? Once we can get there. We can go down, we just have to be careful. Nice. Ah! Not good. Well, we finally made it down here. I'm just using a Panther Martin, which presently is tangled. So, Jorah, you stay away from the edge, buddy. Come on. Well, that wasn't too productive. I think it's time to go back and maybe have a little coffee and rethink this. Not going to use the maps again. But I did notice that down here, there's a little bit of backwater. Otherwise, it's pretty darn deep and fast. And I happen to have a couple of minnow traps up there. So maybe we'll bait those up and throw them in. Oh, it just means another climb down here. But next time I'll do what I've always told people they need to do. Wear their gloves and use their hiking sticks. Or trekking poles, or whatever the hell they call them now. Let's go back up to camp and make some coffee. I think it's time for us to start working on the, what is it? Cherry Crisp? Whatever. I'm going to be using this. It's not a Dutch oven. It's just a big old pot. It's cast iron. And it does have a lid, obviously. Well, maybe not so obviously, but it goes on it like that. But what I'm going to do to save cleaning it the best I can is I'm going to use a pie tin to go inside. I bent it a little bit so it fits pretty good. It's not not quite on the bottom. And that's probably just fine. Alright, I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to set that aside over here. I'm using a Cheapo Deluxe yellow cake mix. And what I'm going to do is take it out of this. And I'm going to put it in this gallon Ziploc bag. It smells good. Now the instructions say add 3 eggs, a third a cup of oil, and a cup of water. Well, we're not really making a cake. So I'm going to add, I don't know, a little bit of oil. That's good. And a little bit of water. And then mix it. Okay, I'll set that aside. Back to my tin. It said take a pan and oil it a little bit and then put some butter in, or some flour, which I don't have. I might, but I'm not going to look for it. So I'll just get this a little bit oily. That ought to be enough. Whoops. Then we have our very cherry pie filling. Ooh, that looks good just like that. Of course, I'm a cherry freak. Okay. Put that there. Put it all, make sure you get it all. And then lick the spoon. Okay. Now, take this stuff. I lipped out or bit out a little hole in the corner. We're going to sort of spread it around like that. Oh, that's probably enough. Hate to waste it, but I can only use so much of this stuff. Now I'm going to maybe spread it around a little bit more. Okay. Time to move to the fire. Well, I went ahead and got the pot on some coals and then put some coals on the top, just like you would on a Dutch oven. It would work. My Dutch oven, which I don't have with me, would work a whole lot better because it would hold the coals better. They just kept sliding off. But it's still, I think, pretty warm. Oh, yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah. Anyway, I don't know what that means, but it's pretty warm. So we're going to let that go and let's let it sit there for an hour, and then we'll take a peek and see what it looks like. Okay, it's time for the unveiling. I did switch halfway and turn the thing over the top and held it better. Ooh. Looks pretty good. Edges are certainly cooked maybe better than the rest of it. But all in all, I think it did well. I think next time I'll let it go a little longer. Maybe spread my coals out a little better. But, and I can see that it got tilted, so it's tilt over a little bit. Darn, I thought I'd have it all clean. Okay. Well, we'll chalk this one up as a success. Jorah, it's dinner time. I put your dinner in the tent. And the rest of you get to see this. You've seen that before. What a delicious dessert I made over the open fire. But for dinner, clams baked over the open fire as well, with a little bit of tinfoil. Everybody's going to want to come camping with Papa Bruce when they see this. Oh, man. Oh, well. Not bad. We're going to eat dinner. Hit the sack. Read the book. Just relax. You guys have a good evening. Well, good morning. What a change. Rained last night. But it probably didn't rain too long. Just enough to get everything a little bit wet. But boy, oh boy, did it cool down. It had to be in the 80s yesterday. Caught a little raise. But right now, I don't know, it must be in the 50s. So I think what we'll do is let the water heat up, at least have some coffee. I was gonna try to fix a breakfast, but we'll see. I'm not too sure. Might be better off just to get stuff actually loaded up while we have a break in the weather. Jorah, not too excited, I don't think. But it was comfortable sleeping last night. So I've still got one rod rigged, and we'll probably leave it that way. And I saw a couple of other spots on the water we might check out. I'm not too sure. My fishing hasn't been exactly stellar, really good. So, don't know. But it's still a pretty ride out of here. Sun's be coming up any minute. I want to thank you for joining us. Excuse me. Have more exciting adventures planned. And please subscribe to the channel. Getting a lot of you coming on board, and that's neat. I enjoy doing this. And if you enjoy seeing some of these things, we're going to look at some other equipment and do some other things. Let's actually get out there with the backpack on. And I've got some ideas to do some solo backpacking in the desert, of course, here. So, see you soon. Please subscribe, and remember, keep hiking.